So this time around, I stumbled upon Niagara Falls, New York, and I must admit, I did not think I would go there. But, like the old saying, when life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. Or in boxing terms, you gotta roll with the punches. So basically, I was supposed to be on home time that week, but as I learned the hard way, you can, but it's not a wise idea to schedule home times very close to each other. I just went to Chicago about a week and a half before, thinking that I can just squeeze into my dad's birthday, and as it turns out, that is not what happened. I had to wait an additional 2 weeks before I can finally be home now and do this video review, which I did not expect to do. The reason why is because I always thought Niagara Falls was a part of Buffalo, New York. You know, I'm just going by what the maps look like, and it's like, oh, they're super close to each other. So I thought it was like the twin cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's not the case. They're actually much further apart. Anywhere from roughly 22, 21 miles apart. So they're not one in the same city. They're actually two different cities. I did not know that. I was able to go to Niagara Falls, and for a 1 to 1.5 day visit, I must admit, it's an excellent quick trip. Going by what it looks like, what you see with these videos that I'm showing you, and what I witnessed on Google looking up hotels and things like that, the Canadian side does look a lot more lavish than the New York side. You know, I'm just going by what I look like. I can't cross to the Canadian border. I don't have a passport, which is really not a good thing. I should get a passport one day. But if you have a passport, and if you live in Canada already, just for an example, go to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. It does offer more elaborate, pretty much everything from hotels to what it looks like things to do. It does make the New York side look like it's balling on a budget. With that being said, should you stay away from the New York side? Absolutely not. You should so visit the New York side. It just, again, it's like comparing Beverly Hills, California and what they look like to your normal suburban, still is a party town type of place. You know, like Beverly Hills to, like when I was in Kansas City, Missouri, for example. I loved KC. So there's a good analogy to that. Therefore, speaking on behalf of the New York side of things, if your goal is to give yourself at most maybe a 3-day vacation, but you can accomplish everything in 2, Niagara Falls, New York is the place to be. If also your goal is to not spend a whole lot of money. Now, you could still, there are casinos in the New York side. There are elaborate hotels there. There are also some lavish restaurants there. But keep in mind what it looks like to me when you're on the Niagara Falls touristy New York side. They do keep a lot of things simple while keeping it nice, if that makes sense. So I'll give you an analogy, okay? So let's say, for example, you own a hair salon, okay? Well, you expect the floor to get dirty. You're cutting people's hair. What do you think is going to happen to the floor when you cut people's hair? It's going to get dirty. But when you always maintain and clean up, you eliminate whatever dirtiness the floor could look like. And that is how the touristy side of the New York section is. They keep it very basic because with tourists, you don't know who's there. You know, someone like me could do their best to be as neat as they can, but other people are not going to do that. So they elaborate everything in a way where even if someone makes a mess, which is to be expected when it comes to tourists, everything is so articulately cleaned up there to the point where you don't notice a big mess in that section, even though you know it's happening. So again, you go to a barber shop or a hair salonist, well, guys, there's going to be hair on the floor. That's going to make the floor look messy. You know it, but they're so good at cleaning everything up that you don't notice it even though you know it's happening. That's a good way to describe the touristy section of the New York side. It's very well kept, and again, they keep things very, very, very basic. Here is the thing though, if you really want the nice things on the New York side, I would go more inland, which is what I did. I went towards where people live there. That's where things started to look a lot nicer. Now, maybe not as nice as the Canadian side. I cooked filet mignon and lobster tail on an 800 degree stone. And this stone, they heat up to 800 degrees, and I was just cooking right there in front of me like it's a stove. That was pretty damn cool. And New York being New York, a lot of Italians live there, so they got some good Italian food. This place called Michael's. They had some very good fried pizza dough that they made into a dessert, and some banging raviolis, like really, really good raviolis. It was really good. It was really good. If you like Italian food, I would check that place out. But yeah, they make the inland where the people live look a lot nicer, a lot neater, whereas the touristy side, it's really designed where if someone makes a mess, you expect that. And you don't have to worry about walking on junk. They really do a good job cleaning it. Just don't expect it to look elaborate, because it is almost designed in a way to be cleaned up for a reason. Regardless of whatever deterrent things I'm saying about the New York side of Niagara Falls, New York, I will give credit when credit is due. When you go to those waterfalls, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit, you just feel so immersed in nature and what that nature provides you, that it's almost like therapy. It really is. I mean, you just witness the power of water right there. The state park is very well kept. They're always improving it. It's just something that's so therapeutic in how it makes you feel in here, that it just brings out the best in people. Nature does something like that. It really does, to the point where when I did, it's not a cave tour, not like San Antonio, but the cave tour that I took, the fact that they mentioned, and for good reason, Nikola Tesla was a part of the history of Niagara Falls speaks volumes. Whatever God / and or nature gives you, it's just amazing to behold. So if your goal is to give yourself a quick vacation, 2 to 3 days tops, and you want to clear your head, you don't want to spend a whole lot of money doing it unless you gamble, and you want to give yourself a good time, and regardless if you want the touristy food near the water or more inland where it is, at least more elaborate, to put it lightly, Niagara Falls, New York was worth a visit. Even though I did not expect to go there, sometimes in life you gotta take what life's give you and just go with it, and you'd be shocked what you receive because of it. So bottom line, I liked it, enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, my review of Niagara Falls, New York. Take care, everyone.